Alrighty folks, hello there. This is Alan recording another comprehensive Magic the Gathering Arena draft video. So, Kaladesh Remastered has arrived and I just moved down to Dumpster Mythic, basically experimenting too much. Did play a lot, but the power level of this format is really high and I've been getting my butt stomped. But anyways, I think we need to record another video here showcasing me getting out of Dumpster Mythic, and also lacking Kaladesh Remastered content on my channel, since I've only drafted really one game last year with, one draft last year for Kaladesh Remastered. So yeah, let's fire off another draft. Goal of this video, basically hit a win streak and get out of Dumpster Mythic. But I drafted this a lot so far, so I'm pretty well aware of what to do. The best commons, the best archetypes, what you should prioritize, etc. So pack one, pick one, Premier Draft, Kaladesh Remastered, the rare OK card. Bit slow. Blue's one of the more weaker colors that I'm not a big fan of, but could be serviceable. There's Ether Meltdown, which is pretty good. Nice way to generate some energy. Can also lock down a creature. Monstrous Onslaught is quite powerful if we pick up some creatures with high power, and there's a lot of them in green. And then looking at the commons, there's Propeller Pioneer, which is probably the best common out of this pack. There's also Self-Assembler if we want to first take this and then just take all the Self-Assemblers. It can be a powerful strategy as well. But maybe I'm just down taking the Monstrous Onslaught. Just a good removal spell, can lead to potential blowouts. And I do want to lean towards green as much as possible in this set, given how strong it is. If Monstrous Onslaught was in this pack, I'd maybe consider the Self-Assembler and just try to pick up like 3 pieces of this, which can be quite good. But yeah, we'll take a Monstrous Onslaught. So this seems quite good. After first picking Monstrous Onslaught, some options here. Could end up blue-green energy with Ether Meltdown. Could end up in white-green Fabricate with either Dawn Feather Eagle or Propeller Pioneer. Wild Wanderer is also okay. Can help us splash and go multiple directions. Pretty decent 4-drop that can help you ramp. And there's also Night Market, Lookout with vehicles, Oval Chase, Dragster if we were more aggressive, could be fine. Overall, this pack again doesn't have anything too exciting. I care too much about. I could just take Wild Wanderer as a fine 4-drop, can help us splash and ramp, which could be pretty decent, and maybe we end up in some sort of 2-3 color nonsense or 3 or 4 color nonsense. Best card in this pack overall, probably the Dawn Feather Eagle. But you know what? I'll take a Wild Wanderer. Nothing stands out too much in this pack, so stick with green for now. Hazardous Condition is an okay card. It's not like an amazing card, to be honest. It's kind of rare because there's a decent amount of large creatures in this set that you don't care about, that this can't really answer. So against an opposing green deck, it's not very good. But against opposing Fabricate decks, it could be okay. I think the best cards in this pack are the Self-Assembler and Propeller Pioneer here. I think I could just be leaning towards one of these. Not sure. Could just take Propeller Pioneer. I'm a big fan of the green-white, gold-white Fabricate deck, and this card is quite good. Nice evasive threat, and then being able to just generate a servo to help go white could be nice. Midnight Oil is also fine, but it's a bit of a risky card to take. Seeing a third Self-Assembler is a sign. Maybe we should be the Self-Assembler deck, and it also keeps us open. So yeah, you know what? I'll take a Self-Assembler here. And it also doesn't commit me to 2 colors right away. No Self-Assemblers in this pack. We do see Druid of the Cow, Ether Poisoner, and Repairing Tiger, all pretty good commons as well. Heroic Intervention is it's playable, but it's more fancy than it looks. I think I just take Druid of the Cow to help us ramp, since we have 2 5-drops already, and then it's always nice to have a Mana Dork early on that can help us accelerate. Otherwise, I wouldn't mind Repairing Tiger as another nice top-end card, but I'll take a Druid here. And then maybe I take a second one. There's also Windkin Raiders, could be nice if we had a couple of artifacts. Restoration Gearsmith is also pretty strong, but is nowhere near our colors. I think I'll just take another Druid of the Cow for now, stick with main deck green. And then in this pack, nothing too exciting. There's a Night Market Lookout, one of the better black commons. Could just take a Foundry Screecher though. Even though, yeah, but black-green doesn't care too much about the whole artifact theme that much. I could also consider just taking an Ether Hub here. I don't really like lands that can tap for colorless, but if it can generate an energy, it could be alright. Yeah, we'll take an Ether Hub. Not sure if I'll play it though. Keeps us open, and then here could take maybe a Subtle Strike and move into the black-green +1/+1 counters deck. There's also Restoration Gearsmith, but again, white doesn't care too much about artifacts. I mean, Restoration Specialist and up to 1 target enchantment. I guess this card could be fine. I think I'd just rather prefer the Subtle Strike. Seems a lot better, and that is a pretty like Glint Sleeve Artisan, so maybe white-green is where we're supposed to be. There's a fine implement, but we'll take a Glint Sleeve Artisan now. Maybe white-green go wide is the place to be in. And if not, we could maybe consider a Thriving Turtle. If we wanted, 1 copy could also always be fine in a mid-rangey blue-green energy deck. And wow, late Propeller Pioneer, okay. Alright, so maybe we just lean towards white-green go wide, which is a fun strat. This card is actually really excellent. So, yeah, could take High Spire Artisan, it can also Fabricate, could also take Herald of the Fair. Herald of the Fair if we're looking to be a little bit more aggressive. Like, High Spire Artisan is okay, it does help us go wide a bit, but I'd rather just have Glint Sleeve Artisans instead. Fine card. You know what, I'll take it anyways, not sure if I'll play it. Keeps us in green. Maybe we need an Iron Thread Crusher as a random vehicle. Maybe take a random Select for Inspection, who knows. But we're basically green anything, but mostly lean towards green-white. And yeah, Ovia is going to be at its best in a green-white deck, since green-white is looking to go wide and Fabricate a ton. If you use a 5-mana ability, you can just generate Construct artifact creature tokens all day, so it's definitely a bomb. Alternatively, the second best card is maybe the Roller Virtuoso, which we could potentially splash for. There's also Welding Sparks in this pack, but Ovia is a bomb. We'll take her. And this pack, Arborback Stomper is a great uncommon, keeps us in green. Alternatively, we'd be looking at either Skyweller's Shot or Daring Demolition. Brawl's expertise is also pretty decent as well, but blue is one of the more weaker colors, and this is okay. If we were definitely better if we were being aggressive and tempo oriented. I'd still maybe take Skyweller's Shot, knowing that white is the more. We saw some late good white cards in the previous pack, but I'll take an Arborback Stomper now. And yeah, this Propeller Pioneer wheeled from the same pack we took the Self-Assembler. So that's fine. Okay, there's Narnum Renegade, which is okay. Fine Death Touch creature, plays really well with fight effects, like Hunt the Weak. Although it forces it to fight, so it could potentially end up being a lower stat line. Not too many ways to trigger Revolt, so this card's actually more okay than it is amazing. I think I'm leaning towards this Pima Outrider. The fact that it's 4-drop that can generate a servo token for Ovia is great, and also plays really well in the white-green Fabricate deck. Skyskiff is also okay. Etherborn Marauder is great in the black-green +1/+1 synergy deck, but we'll take a Pima Outrider now. And another Monstrous Onslaught, also Vengeful Rebel is amazing. There's also another Glint Sleeve Artisan, which is probably going to be my pick over Monstrous Onslaught and Revoke Privileges. This is a good removal spell, but we have a copy already. And I do want to pick up more like +1/+1 counter stuff. I could also just take the Monstrous Onslaught, a second one. It is kind of clunky and expensive though. So maybe I'm down to just take another Glint Sleeve Artisan and just force green-white, since Ovia is going to be at its best in green-white anyways. And I mean, we're seeing some late cards too, like Vengeful Rebel. But usually one Monstrous Onslaught is fine. It's kind of clunky at 5 mana. I think I'll take the Glint Sleeve Artisan for now. And yeah, we got well rewarded with a Visionary Augmenter, also great in the Fabricate Go Wide deck. So yeah, it seems like maybe we're just going to do white-green Go Wide, and that can be a fun strat. Maybe we splash a secondary color with the Wild Wanderer, but for now, we'll just go white-green, depending on what types of bombs we open. And, well, I mean, there's another Propeller Pioneer. It is another 4-drop. There's also another Self-Assembler, but I don't know if we're going to end up doing it, because there's a chance. You need at least 3 or more of these to actually be good. This will be our second copy. So I think we'd rather just take the Propeller Pioneer here and just go wide. And we'll take a Revoke Privileges as a good removal spell. I mean, a fine removal spell. Usually in this set, there's too many servo tokens to really make this effective. But it's still okay. We don't have much removal so far. So white-green, go wide. is the game plan. So if Dawn Feather Eagles would be great, could play an Inspired Charge. Wow, another Glint Sleeve Artisan. I actually think this card could be better than the Renegade Rallier. Again, Revolt is not easy to enable, and then this can only bring back like cheap, smaller creatures like Ovia and Druidical, which is fine, but I think we just rather take the Glint Sleeve Artisan and Fabricate a million times and smash. Okay, could play maybe a Eddy Trailhawk as a fine 2-drop, can leverage a bit of flying. We don't have much flying. It's overall just a very okay card. Fragmentize could maybe be better. This card is okay. I think I like the Fragmentize. Usually in white there's enough flyers that you don't need to pay energy just to give a creature flying. Maybe we play Bastion Mastodon since we can give it Vigilance in white. And then what we need is maybe some more 2-drops. Repairing Tiger, I guess, is pretty decent too. Could be an upgrade over Bastion Mastodon. Over Appetite of the Unnatural. Plays pretty well with our Monstrous Onslaught, and just a great green common overall. I think green commons are just really excellent in this set. Like, they're just so good. And white could be the third or the second best color, because white is also deep with the whole Fabricate plan. Okay, Metallic Mimic could be pretty excellent. I mean, if we just name servos right, we can just make 2/2 servos all day. They will all come in with a +1/+1 counter. Yeah, this card can be is good. Alternatively, yeah, this pack just isn't exciting. There's a Renegade mat which can trigger Revolt. And then that's pretty much it. Let's take a Metallic Mimic named Servo, make a bunch of 2/2s all day. There's an Ether, a Tomb of Ether, could be the pick here. Can help us maybe splash a third color and give us a bit of energy. We're not really an energy deck. Most of the energy cards we don't care too much about. There's also another Druid of the Cal, but I don't know if we want to play 3 copies of it. Inventor's Goggle. I mean, we do have some Artificers, so it could be nice hooking them up with the Inventor's Goggles. But just in case we end up splashing, we need to hit our land drops. I don't mind a Tomb of Ether. It's a pretty good green common. Winding Constrictor can be kind of fun as well. Yeah, we'll take the Tomb of Ether. Seems pretty good. Aviary Mechanic. If we have some ETB enter the battlefield effects, could be nice. Also find 2-drop as well. Daredevil Dragster is also okay. We have a lot of 4s already, but I mean, I could see myself cutting Wild Wanderer and just throwing in another Pima Outrider. Like on turn 2, we're mostly interested in ramping to our 4-drops. So I don't mind just taking this, having another Fabricate creature for our go wide strat. And then now maybe we can take the Renegade Rallier. Although, yeah, it can get back maybe the Metallic Mimic. It's a fine cheap card we could play. We could maybe take another 5-drop, but we have a lot of 4s already. I will take the Renegade Rallier, and we could use our Signpost Uncommon in this deck. How good is the Restoration Specialist? It can get back Metallic Mimic, which is very medium. I think we're looking at maybe Eddy Trailhawk to help us fly over. Decent 2-drop. And then our Propeller Pioneer could be great. There's also Lifecraft Cavalry. There's also Self-Assembler, which we do have a copy of already as well. Maybe Lifecraft Cavalry could be fine. We have 3 of these already. If we're looking to attack, this can come in as a 5-mana 6/6. We'll try this. Don't think we don't have vehicles to get flying. Maybe Kajar Sea Sculptor is a pretty reasonable 2-drop. Put a counter onto a creature, so that's pretty nice. Okay, Thought Arrest is perfect. Great removal spell. Could be an upgrade over maybe Fragmentize, or maybe we don't need to play a Tomb of Ether. Maybe we don't even need to play Eddy Trailhawk, honestly. It doesn't seem like a great card. Right now I'm just trying to round out which cards we're happy to play. We have a lot of 4s. We have a decent amount of 5s. There's a random Pima Ether Seer. We can just generate some energy and force a creature to block. It's very medium. I might actually... Yeah, I'll take it anyways. None of these cards are particularly amazing. And then maybe I end up taking a Winding Constrictor or a Conviction. I don't know. Maybe play double Fragmentized. Who knows? Okay, could take an Aviary Mechanic. Can give an extra 2-drop for the Renegade Rallier. There's also a Lifecraft Cavalry, but one should be fine. I think we'll play 2 copies and then Not sure what I want to take here. Again, this card isn't great. I guess I can bring back one enchantment if it does end up in the graveyard. Not sure if I'll play it though. It's just not a great card. Unfortunately, this deck just didn't have any pump effects for the team, so it would have been great if we had a Dawn Feather Eagle to do our whole go wide, pump the team sort of game plan. Overall, it's definitely leaning towards a more aggressive end of the spectrum. I definitely like all my 5-drops. I like my 4s. The 3s are okay. Revoke Privileges is fine. Removal Spell, Thought Duress. Metallic Mimic can put 1/1 counters on servo tokens. This is also okay. One more card we can add to the deck. Don't think we're ramping. This is like very medium. This is whatever. This is whatever. Could just play a Tomb of Ether. I think I could just run a Fragmentize maybe, since there's plenty of artifacts I don't mind destroying and enchantments in this set. I don't know if I want to go 16 lands and just take a Tomb of Ether. We don't really have any energy synergies. Can help us find lands, but for the most part, maybe just having the extra land in a 17 land deck is okay. Bastion Mastodon could also be fine filler playable at 6 or 5. I mean, Restoration Specialist doesn't have any synergy. So maybe this deck is fine. Just run it as it is. The game plan is again just play a bunch of junk. Maybe Ovia can just leverage a ton of value. We can fly over with our Propeller Pioneers. We can go wide enough. The only thing I wish we had was maybe a Dawn Feather Eagle or Inspired Charge. But overall, I can't really complain because we found the open color. And then I think we have a lot of double green going, but we also have some white in the early game. We all have one double white card, but I think we want to go slightly more green, even though it states that we have slightly more white spells, just because we want to cast our green spells early and then play some double green cards at the top end. Let's do this. Let's try this. Let's do it. Alright, let's see how well this deck performs. Looks okay. We can potentially just smash and kill the opponent. Druida Cal can help us ramp. We love double white for Visionary Augmenter, but Unbridled Growth, okay. So double white would be great for me to cast this the following turn. Seed Sculptor, but we'll just follow it with another Druid of the Cowl. Then we can double spell potentially, maybe play another Druid next turn, and then a Seed Sculptor or not. So opponent's gonna go 4-color, multi-color shenanigans. Thought Duress, I don't think I want to use it. I want to use it onto the creature that they want to ramp out to. I think this turn we're fine playing Druid here. And then I think we're fine playing out the Sculptor. And we could potentially put a counter on this Druid, but it's going to become a pretty big target if we do so. And if we lose it, then we can't play the Tiger. So I think we actually put on the Seed Sculptor and maybe offer a trade if it decides to attack. Familiar, it's nothing too scary so far. I think I offered a trade because I don't want to take 1,000,000 damage. So this is fine. Skyship Plunderer, so opponent has a flyer that can start beating down now. And now we can easily play. We can happily play out, I guess, Visionary Augmenter, maybe bounce it back. No, I guess we can't bounce it back because it's double white, so I think we just throw in the Riparian Tiger and start pressuring him on the ground. Save the Thopter Rest for something better. Maybe we eventually use it on the flyer, but it really depends. He doesn't really have anything to use. This implies he wants to draw a card. I mean, so I'll just block it like this so he doesn't draw a card. And he doesn't finish off my Riparian Tiger. I don't need to activate energy with this. We can treat this like an exert creature for Amonkhet, where we don't have to necessarily exert or use the energy if we don't have to. Rashmi's a bomb, so we need to take out Rashmi. Yeah, Rashmi needs to go. Okay, so he had a removal spell anyway, so we'll let this resolve. And yeah, I think we Thopter Rest Rashmi before she becomes a problem. And I think I attack for 4 here. No reason to play the 2/2. Okay, so we can do multiple things this turn. Probably find attacking for 4 first, and then decline. And then I can play the Visionary Augmenter or play Pima Outrider. Pima Outrider make a 4/4 could be nice, but Visionary Augmenter could also be fine. Because I'm planning on maybe bouncing this as well, so don't want to make 2 1/1s or go wide. I think we want to go wide. And then we can play this and then bounce back to 2/1 as well. And take it from there. I don't really want to block any of this, honestly. I don't want him drawing cards. Maybe see a removal spell. Shrewd Negotiation. Okay, that's fine. I can draw a card off of the Filigree Familiar. So I can Pima Outrider, or I can make another more servo tokens. Monstrous Onslaught, so I can only choose among any non-target creatures where X is greatest power among creatures you control as you cast a spell. Okay, seems fine. So I probably want to make this into a 4/4. I guess he doesn't have energy, so we could potentially do some sort of weird double block. But I do want to make this into a 4/4 potentially, because I want to fight off the Riparian Tiger. And then for attack steps, we can attack with these 3. This is essentially hitting for 3. Then we can take this out maybe next turn, and not his own Riparian Tiger. Okay. I could double block this, but I don't really feel the need to. I could block, but I might want to take it out. You know what, we'll take 6. Could Monstrous Onslaught. If we Monstrous Onslaught, what happens in Attack with All? What happens? He blocks a small creature 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's not necessarily lethal. This is rough. I could take both of these out and keep his 4/4s around. He has a clock on with me on the air. I think I need to take this. Yeah, I think I need to take out his Riparian Tiger. And I think I need some blockers here. I think I'll attack for 4. I can attack with both. I do need some blockers against his 4/4. If he attacks and makes this into a 6/6, I'm fine maybe throwing a couple of creatures in front of this so I don't die. Pretty clutch match here. That Shrewd Negotiation hurts, but I'm hoping I can draw a card off this Filigree Familiar. Please don't enhance your flyer. If he has Hunt a week, this could be kind of bad. So he's going to make this into a 6/6. So I do need to prevent the trample, so let's try something like this. Four, 5, 6. Yeah, I think I need to block like this. Hopefully no instant to blow me out. No instant. I get to draw a card if the familiar at least. It's not the worst. The energy thing is a problem though. Roller Virtuoso, yeah, that's just game over. And I'm just gonna die next turn to it. Yeah, I can't really deal with that. Good games. Cool deck from the opponent, the multicolor teamer deck. Even the Embrado Growth was a decent way to trigger Revolt. Didn't have any Revolt payoffs, but now you can see how the Embrado Growth could actually be an okay card. Not a card I want to pick up too highly, unless I have a couple of Revolt payoffs, but yeah. It's kind of rough playing a green-white deck without any pump spells. There was no point in playing that game out because he could have easily just made a serval token and the turn hit me for 3 in the air. I don't even know if the right play was actually taking out the 1/3, because otherwise we'd be facing 2 tramplers and that would have been very strong. Really difficult to deal with, so that was a hard match. This hand isn't great. No early game. I think we mull. This hand's slightly better, not amazing. I'll keep. And I think we ditch maybe the Pima Outrider or Propeller Pioneer here. Both of these are great. We don't have any double green so far, so I think we just ditch that card, and then maybe we can just curve out 2-drop into 3-drop and take it slow. Can attack, but he just blocks. It's not worth it. I will play Glint Sleeve Artisan. I could also make this into a 3/3 if I want to. It's not that bad. I can at least attack past the 2/3 if I go this route. If he plays green mana, okay, he's just playing a bunch of Narnum Cobras. Don't really care either. Yeah, I'll attack, and if he tries to, I guess this is only sorcery speed. I could attack with both, and then if any of them dies, I'll just bring it back. Who knows? I mean, still trading for a Narnum Cobra, not the worst. Get some value. Opponent's deck is not super amazing so far. I think we just attack. And he's probably going to do some sort of instant here to blow me out, maybe. Who knows? I guess he can give this Death Touch. I don't really care. Could maybe consider fragmentizing it, but I think this is fine. Maybe I give it a 1/1 counter. At least I can essentially trade for the flyer if something like that happens. Maybe I should have used the Fragmentize on it and then just played another Glint Sleeve Artisan. Attacking with both. Fine with the trade. Hopefully no counterspell, but I'm playing out the Arborback Stomper. It resolved the last time. Our creatures resolved last time, so I can imagine this being quite good. So maybe the opponent is just like spell screwed or something. There's just nothing good for him to cast, or maybe there's just too many expensive stuff to cast. Decent thing about this too is that if he uses the 4-mana malfunction, we can still exile it or destroy it. Right. Alright, sure. And we gain 1% out of Dumpster Mythic, okay? Okay, seems, of Ovia. Can curve out Ovia into Aviary Mechanic, make a Servo turn 3, and then Propeller Pioneer can help us go wide. Alright, so we finally picked up our bomb in our opening hand. Hopefully it survives though. These cards are really scary. On turn 5 you can just keep generating construct creature tokens. And no Pyro Helix. Hopefully no unlicensed disintegration as well. Okay, opponent misses land drop, so we'll just keep beating down. And then we can make a Servo end turn with the Ovia. Yeah, this can just end the game if you can't answer it. Basically, it's pretty silly rare. It's not unbeatable because of the low toughness is a pretty bad blocker as well, but yeah, the fact that you can just generate value all day is kind of nutty. I could play Propeller Pioneer. I could also just kill this and make a token. I mean, I think that's a pretty good answer. And then we'll make another Servo token end of turn. And then we can start generating like 5/5s with Ovia. I just want to add the extra pressure by killing the proc hot up killer bug, and it's going to be annoying in the future anyway, so that's fine. Probably see a removal spell now. There's the unlicensed disintegration I was just talking about. Pima Outrider hits pretty hard too. Attack. I think I like the Pima Outrider. There's a chance you could have like Subtle Strike and all this annoying stuff going on. I'd rather just do this instead. Infiltrator is fine. I think I'll kill it. Gifted Etherborn, never mind, is the card I want to answer the most. So yeah, I think we want to Thopter arrest the Gifted Etherborn. Revolt privileges on the Spire side Infiltrator and attack with all. And hopefully no lifelink and we can just kill him. Well, I had 2 copies of Unlicensed Disintegration. Thank God we curved out and he missed his land drops, but his deck would have been pretty strong too. And yep, we're getting out Dumpster Mythic, earned 1%. Alright, opening hand, Ovia, there we have it. Just need 1 white mana though to start casting my other spells, but you know, Druidic Cowl is nice too, can help us ramp into other things. Yep, we'll just attack for 1, play out the Druidic Cowl. Then I just want to go maybe wide with servo tokens. Ether Chaser is really good. Let's see. I can make a servo, or I can play a 4-drop and take it from there. Given that he's red again, I think I just want to play out the Pima Outrider and make a servo token here. And then we can start making 5/5s all day with Ovia. Don't necessarily want to block if he attacks either, because he could easily have some sort of trick. So we don't want to block here. Just to preserve our creature and then have him not have him use a trick against us. Sweatworks Brawler is fine. Can revoke privileges, but I think we just want to keep making creatures now, and then we'll say go. So yeah, this needs to be answered, or else it can just take over the game. Pretty absurd card if you think about it. Skyship Stalker, well that card needs to be locked down. Let's revoke this. I can play the Aviary mechanic, but I don't really need to do that. Could attack with the 3/3, maybe offer to trade. Or attack with the 4/4. Could attack with both and just take it. I mean, that's not the worst. I could also just play the 2/2 for the hell of it. Lots of interesting options. I could just attack with both, honestly, just be a little bit more aggressive. Now the opponent is facing against Ovia. I can block here as well. Take 3. I mean, I could just take 5 too. Like, it's not the end of the world. We're kind of on. We basically have the advantage with Ovia, just being able to make creatures all day and smashing back. Guess I'll just take 3 here. Ravenous Intruder. He can sack and make this into a 3/4, so it can effectively block the 3/3 here. I mean, it can block most creatures, so I think we just sit back and then we just keep generating creatures all day, because he can just sack a bunch of stuff at instant speed here and make this quite large, so I need to be careful. So if he sacks 3 artifacts, ooh, Karizev is a pretty cool card. Yeah, we don't have to do anything. We can just sit back all day. If I attack with the 5/5, I mean, I can start attacking with the 5/5 maybe. He sacks 2 artifacts, kills it, and then I can just make another one, so I don't really care that much. We just attack here and see what's up. I need to start pressuring him, otherwise we're not going to win. Yeah, and you just can't beat this card. It's just ridiculous. Especially with all the ramp in green. I mean, obviously you can kill it. There's a lot of answers. Like, Chandra's Power Helix is like the worst thing to see against it. But it still eats up a removal spell, and it still threatens to outvalue the opponent if it's not answered immediately if they untap. So, luckily my opponent there didn't have anything. Alright, no white mana. I mean, we do have Metallic Mimic, which could be quite good. I think I'll try it, and hopefully, because we're on a draw, we can potentially draw white mana and then just keep going off. Yep, we got it. So we could Metallic Mimic next turn, but maybe it's better to Druid of the Cow and start developing first. Could Metallic Mimic, but I think we just want more mana. And then next turn we can play Druid of the Cow into Metallic Mimic and then hopefully be able to cast everything. I don't really want to block this Death Touch either. Although him generating energy all day can be kind of annoying. Yeah, this combo is really disgusting. Maybe it's fine blocking it. Yeah, I think I need to get rid of it. It's just going to be a problem later. I can get rid of this with a Thought to Arrest if I want to. For now, I think we just play Druid, and then next turn we can double spell Metallic Mimic, naming Servo. Live fast, okay. So blue-black energy deck. to play Arborback Stomper, but I just want to play this first. I guess he's trying to enable Revolt here. Or he has a sweeper. Not sure. I'm not sure this is correct. Okay, yep, he had a sweeper all along. He doesn't get to cast anything off of it at least, so we get to prevent 1 damage. Confiscation Coup, wow, it's so strong. Yeah, this opponent's deck is strong. I don't know if I can beat it. Need to kill my own guy. That's just already a 2-for-1. Plus he has so much he can do with the Decoction module, it's pretty insane, so not sure if I can beat this. Like, he has 2 bomb rares, plus already a 4/3 flyer. So I highly doubt we can do much against this opponent. I guess I can make this into a 3/2 to at least maybe offer a trade. Yeah. Alright, this is probably game over. Opponent's deck is just really strong. Holy crap. Midnight Oil. Maybe he can lose to Midnight Oil, but the fact that he's just drawing so many cards off of it is just so ridiculous. Maybe I can make some chump blockers, who knows, while he tries to fly over. And then he can just dump all of his hand, and then he doesn't really... Yeah, this Midnight Oil is going to draw him a bunch of cards, but eventually I guess he could run out. He can end up forcing himself to discard, and then maybe take some hits, take some damage. Not sure. Yeah, this is insane. Wow, this deck is so nutty. There's not much I can do. I'm fine offering to trade here. Can generate 2 serval tokens now. He can also bounce his Ether Poisoner back to with the Decoction module. Pretty insane. He's probably gonna bounce it anyways with the Decoction module, but I mean, he might be forced to like just. Yeah, he could be forced to replay it and then another Ether Poisoner. Yeah, this is nutty. Oh my god. Okay, talk about synergy. Holy crap, this deck is insane. Yeah, I think I need to make this into a 3/2. I mean, eventually he won't be able to cast anything, but I mean, he has enough lands to double spell anyway, so I highly doubt this is going to become a problem for him. We're just so dead. Yeah, we're just so dead here. Holy crap. Alright, you got it. There's no way I'm beating this. Yeah, wow, it's so insane. Awesome deck, opponent. That is a very awesome deck. Okay, alright. Now you can see the power of Ether Poisoner and Decoction module and all those other shenanigans. So overall, the deck is very okay. Currently 3-2. Not the best results. Seems okay. No 2-drops. It's not until turn 3 we can play something. We're on the draw. Maybe it's still keepable. Metallic Mimic is pretty nice on turn 2. And then hopefully we can name Servo and go off with it. Thought to Rest is great, but I think I need to hit my land drops. I could name Artificer, but Servo's probably what I want to do here. Ooh, Rishkar? Yeah, that's a good one. So he has like 5 mana. This card's really strong. I think I need a double block Rishkar here. And hopefully not get blown out, but that's highly unlikely. Probably has a pump trick here. Yeah, high Spur Infusion would be good. I mean, still 1-for-1. Can Fragmentize. I guess we can Fragmentize and then play the Renegade Rallier, but we have nothing to get back. So I guess we just Propeller Pioneer here. And make another Servo. I could set up a double block against Rishkar here, and then Renegade Rallier getting Metallic Mimic back. That could be a solid strategy, so I think I'll stay back. Hopefully he's out of junk. He is, okay. Hopefully nothing crazy to follow up. Pima Outriders are pretty good. He makes it into a 4-4 as well. Revolt Privileges, okay. I could still take 4 here, or take 3. If I do this and I can get back Metallic Mimic, but maybe it's still fine. This is weird. You know what, let's just kill this now. What's this? I don't even know what this is. Oops, what the hell? Oh, it's only permanents I control? That's really bad. That was bad. Yeah, that was terrible. I should maybe just revoke this. I thought it was any permanent that leaves the battlefield I can get back to Metallic Mimic, but I read wrong. So this is how I get punished. At least I can maybe need to hit my land. Pima Outrider is okay, but I need to hit my land. Could just play Arborback Stomper, attack for 2. Or attack with both. I think I'm fine attacking for both, offering a trade here, and then I'll take 4 on the way back and then revoke to 4-4 or Monstrous Onslaught, depending on what happens. Hopefully the opponent doesn't have his own Monstrous Onslaught. Did see his monstrous onslaught. I mean, if he does, that's gonna suck. Sheaf of the Foundry, not the worst. Yeah, we'll revoke the 4/4, I think. And then find attacking for 7. Are you serious? Does he have something here? That's kind of cute. Okay. Guess we'll kill it next turn. This is going to be annoying. He can make this into a 2/2 servo token if he decides to keep it around. We can potentially double block the Arborback Stomper. So I might want to take out the 2/3 and the 2/2 and then take it from there, or 3/3 and a 2/2. Narnum Cobra, so Monstrous Onslaught should be pretty good here. What can we do here? We can kill both of these, or just kill the Chief and the 2/2, so this becomes a 2/1. I definitely want a Monstrous Onslaught this turn. I could take both of these out instead, or both of these. So if I take out the Sheaf here, and then I put one on each, I guess they will all die. So what I want to do is I want to put one here, and then put one here, right? And then do this. And then we can attack for 7. So essentially a 3/1, that was pretty nice. So if he has a high Spartan Fusion, I'm dead, but that needs to be a really clutch top deck. Yep. no early game creatures, just a bunch of stuff, but we're on the play, so I think I'll try it. Hopefully top deck into some playables. Worst case scenario, we flood out really badly. Or the opponent just runs us over. So maybe a Revolt deck. So he's probably trying to do an Abzan sort of Revolt deck with cards like the Cogworker's Puzzle Knot and Unbridled Growth. I could trade or not. Because, I mean, I could trade now because the next turn he could pay 5 mana for the whole make a 5/5 Revolt card. Or 6/6. Okay, so he wants to lock me down for a turn. I think I'll offer to trade if he attacks. Or not. Yeah, this does set me back a bit. Don't know if attacking matters here. It seems like we're the more aggressive deck, so I will attack. I will attack. I'm surprised he used the 4-mana removal spell on the 2/1. I think that was worth it. I think I'll offer the attack here, and then I'm finding the serval token trades for a 1/1. If he attacks, do I block? Probably not. Because again, I don't want him casting Lifecraft Cavalry here. Okay, so he wants to trigger Revolt this turn with the 1/1 servo, so he's probably going to play Vengeful Rebel. That's pretty good. That does shut my Repairing Tiger down for a turn. I don't want to revoke the 3/2. I think we just say go. And then we just take 3 and then play out the Repairing Tiger. Lifecraft Cavalry, I think I attack for 1 and then maybe play out the Lifecraft Cavalry, who knows. Could have a removal spell and I'd be taking extra damage, so not sure if this was... I mean, either way, I mean, if I'm planning to play the 4/4, something like this would happen anyway, so... Kajara Seed Sculptor. I think I attack and pump. And then if it dies, we can just Lifecraft Cavalry and then make a 6/6. Not this is also fine. And then, yeah, we'll just play the Seed Sculptor. Can put a counter onto my Druid of the Cal, but it becomes a real big target. Can also just put a counter on my 1/1. I think that's fine. Could also play the 5/5, but I think we just say go for now. Cloud Blazer is really strong. Okay, so this is a good turn to maybe Monstrous Onslaught and take both of these out and attack. Narnum Cobra, wow. So this is a really good turn to just kill a bunch of stuff from the opponent. Metallic Mimic, Monstrous Onslaught's really strong. Maybe I just take out 2 of these in the servo token, so I think I do that. I mean, there's a chance he can get back the Cloud Blazer, which is a problem. The 2-for-1 potential here is great, so... Yeah, him getting back a Cloud Blazer is a problem, so this needs to die. Maybe this needs to die, and then this needs to die. I could just name Warrior of the Metallic Mimic. Like, I know it's great with servo tokens, but maybe it's fine naming Warrior. Yeah, Warrior. Hopefully you can't bounce this and recast it, because that'd be a scary card. Okay. Pima Outrider, so I could attack with a 4/4 and a 2/2 and then trigger Revolt and take it from there. I could also use a removal spell, but again, I don't really see these creatures as anything too I'm concerned remotely about for dealing with the for casting for removing. So opponent's like 4 colors, okay. It's pretty good. Roller Virtuoso, that needs to, yeah, that needs to get Thopter arrested. Okay, 5 and 2, not bad. Got back most of our gems. There's potentially a way we can get 7 wins with this deck. Don't know how, but there's definitely a chance we can. Okay, Metallic Mimic, naming Servo. Fragmentize can maybe answer an early artifact, so I think we keep the double green. Could be a little bit rough on the Pima Outrider, but I still think we keep the solid curve here. I could also name Artificer, but definitely prefer to name Servo early on. Would love a land next turn. Could name Artificer, but again, Servo is probably the right one to go. The right one to name. And if I don't get a land, I'm gonna cry. So probably see a removal spell. Yup. I mean, worst case scenario, I don't draw a land. Best case scenario, I get a land and I can cast Root of the Cow. So that wasn't the worst, and he did take out my Metallic Mimic for 4 mana, so his own Pima Outrider pretty good. Makes a 4/4. Very interesting. Guess I make my own 4/4, or I play Monstrous Onslaught. Yeah, I probably need to make my own 4/4 and maybe set up a Monstrous Onslaught. So we'll do this. And yeah, the servo token just doesn't seem great. And then hopefully he doesn't have a Hunt the Weak here, otherwise this is going to be a brutal or removal spell. I'll take 4. I probably need to kill this with Monstrous Onslaught next turn, hopefully. No Hunt the Weak, please. Or removal spell. I'm probably see a Chandra's Power. Oh my god, I just had a removal spell all along. So annoying. So I guess it's Lifecraft Cavalry time. Don't think I can double spell. It's kind of annoying, but whatever. It's just a little bit of... Yeah, this card's kind of underwhelming if you can't enable Revolt. I could also trade for it. It's not the worst as well, like trading for this, but he could also have a pump spell to blow me out. It really depends. Maybe it's worth it. I mean, his damage did resolve really quickly, but if he has his own 6/6, this is bad. Driving Rhino, okay, not the worst. Still gonna be rough. Arborback Stomper, perfect. This is like the dream card to have, and then we can maybe 2-for-1 the opponent here. Monstrous Onslaught, hopefully no removal. I mean, he would have used removal the last following turn. This is only while it attacks, right? Okay, so now we can Monstrous Onslaught and get away with this. So yeah, let's just take out these 2 cards. I think they're the most threatening. And then I can attack the Arborback Stomper here. Pretty nice 2-for-1. Alright, this can trade. Is it worth trading? Maybe this. In case he has a fight spell, I think it's worth just punching through for 1 and trading. And then what we can do here, we have 6 mana available, so we could play Propeller Pioneer, which is quite good. Can make a 3/2 or a 1 or a 2/2. I think I want a 3/2 to start beating down because the server token doesn't really do anything at this point in the stage. I think I just need to keep flying over and smashing for 3. Unfortunately, Fragmentides can't answer that, so I gotta be careful. So now I can make a servo token with the Glint Sleeve Artisan, so I can maybe force a chump, perhaps. And if he crews this, then we can attack back, which is quite nice. I think I'm down for that. If he wants to crew, we can swing back. How much damage is this? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can put him down to 3 if he decides to hit me for 6, which I don't think is a good play. If I Renegade Rallier, we can get back Metallic Mimic, so I could also attack with the 1/1 token here. Just for the hell of it. I think this is fine. If he crews and blocks, that's fine. He obviously knows I'm trying to enable Revolt. I'll probably name Serval still. Alright, I gave him some life. Alright, I mean, it's not too different from the 1/1 token, honestly. Because he could have used on the 1/1 token anyway, so I guess it's not too different. If he gets an Iron Thread Crusher, I could triple block it technically. But is that worth it though? Maybe it is. I mean, I can't chump forever here. Yeah, maybe it is. I think I go for it here. And hopefully he doesn't answer my flyer. We can still double block the Sparge Side Infiltrator. And another Propeller Pioneer is great. Hopefully no Furious Reprisal, that would be the worst case scenario. Like, imagine Furious Reprisal here, that would just take out both of my flyers and lead to another board stall. But yeah, we got him, sweet. So, off to the final boss. With an okay deck. Honestly, I don't think this deck is great. Just kind of got lucky in the last few games. There's definitely more busted white-green decks that I could have drafted, but this one's fine. Has a bit of everything, servos, evasion, just lacking the pump spells to help us crash through for a ton of damage. So now we're getting ourselves out Dumpster Mythic at least, and that's good. I messed around with this set too much when it just came out a couple days ago, 2 days ago to be exact. And this is where I got myself, so I need to get myself out. Alright, there's a Glint Sleeve, Artisan on 3, Monstrous Onslaught, no creatures. Worst case scenario, we flood. Best case scenario, we get some creatures going. We have 4 lands, which can eventually get our play some of our more expensive green cards. I think this is fine. On the play too, I'm okay with this. I think we make a servo, although... yeah, I think we make a servo here. I could also play Druida Cal, but I don't have anything to ramp into. This is fine, make a servo. Because he can always just block this and give it Death Touch. Okay. So this is probably going to become a grindy game. Decent blocker. Pretty nice in green-blue, I think, because it's really defensive. Pima Outrider, I think I want to lock that down. I'm hoping he puts a counter on it. That's good. Okay, my own Pima Outrider. I could play my own Pima Outrider, or I can play out Revoke Privileges. There's a chance you could have like Hunt the Weak, which could be pretty annoying, but I mean he would cast it anyways. But I think we want to be the slow player here and not take it too far, so I think we want to Revoke here and take it slow. Hopefully no scary bombs. My Ether Seer is fine. So this can essentially force an opposing creature to block, which could be a problem. Visionary Augmenter or Pima Outrider. Pima Outrider sets up a better Monstrous Onslaught. This helps me go wide, but it doesn't really attack past anything. I think I risk it here now and get out the Pima Outrider, and we want to make this into a 4/4. And maybe we can step Monstrous Onslaught. Take out a couple, maybe do another 3-for-1 on him, and take it from there. I guess he can force this to block. Yeah, I guess I should have thought that. Okay, never mind. He had a removal spell anyways. I guess that's not the worst. I thought he could force the 4/4 to block, and then use his Narnum Cobra's Death Touch to finish it off. So I should have thought about that, but I'm happy he actually used Chandra's Revolution there. Takes out my token. Okay. I can still block the 2/1 and I can make more tokens at the end of the day, so I don't really worry that much. I can make this into a 4/2, but man, it's not worth it. Because if I make this into a 4/2, he just forces a trade, so I think what we want to do is just keep this board stall going until we top deck into something better. Hope he doesn't have any scary red-green bombs he can play. And finally sacks this and trade for my Visionary Augmenter. I can still block everything else on the ground. Seed Sculptor is quite good. The question is, I'm not even sure if I should even use a Seed Sculptor, honestly. Like, it doesn't really accomplish anything. I think we just say go. The fact that he can force one of my creatures to block with this stupid combo here in a Narman Cobra is a little bit annoying, but hoping I can trade off. He can trade off this Pima Ether Seer and take it from there. Another Narnim Cobra. Okay, so more Death Touchers. So playing big creatures is not necessarily the best solution. I guess I can do some combo where I can play the Seed Sculptor. I think I'm fine. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to try to force something here. I'm going to put the Seed Sculptor onto the Druid of the Cal to maybe force him to use the energy. And then maybe I can trigger Revolt the next following turn and bring it back. I think this is fine. So I'm fine if he tries to do any Death Touch shenanigans here, take out my Druid of the Cal. But this is the biggest problem, not these two. Seed Sculptor, okay. Yeah, we're not doing anything here, it's just board stall. Yeah, opponent's not falling for it. Okay, Propeller Pioneer. Can, I guess, become a 3-2? Not sure if that's worth it. I guess I can attack next turn and then maybe use Monstrous Onslaught to finish it off. So I guess we'll just say go. If he tries to make me force a trade with the Narnim Cobra, that can be also pretty annoying. But if I can attack and he can block and I can Monstrous Onslaught to finish like 3 creatures, that would be really, really amazing. Fragmentize can take out a Narnim Cobra. Is that worth it though? So I can put this at 1 toughness and then take out Pima Ether Seer and then High Spire Artisan. Let's just attack here and see what's up. Yeah, so now I can do this. I can use Monstrous Onslaught, target. I guess it's only 3 power, so I might as well target the rest of these, or I can also target the... Yeah, I think I want to take this out as well. And then hopefully it resolves. And then I can use Fragmentize on one of the Narnim Cobras. Please resolve. Probably as an instant to take out my Propeller Pioneer. Yeah, this could be rough. Oh, fucking stupid. Okay, I mean, this is so dumb. So I need to somehow put a counter onto the Propeller Pioneer, so I could chomp with the Seed Sculptor and let it die, and then try to bring it back in one of my turns to make this into 4 power to attack past the High Spire Artisan. That could be a reasonable play. Opponents play these weird combat tricks. I mean, it's not bad. The fact that you can untap a creature and give it +3/+1 could be kind of backbreaking. I think I like... I guess I can just give him a bunch of creatures to block. I don't mind. He's most likely doesn't want to kill the Druid of the Cal. Yeah, you know what? Let's just block with everyone. See which choices. I'm hoping he kills my Seed Sculptor. I guess he wants to kill the 2/2 and then 2/1/1s. That makes the most sense. Another Pima Outrider. It's hard too. It's all rough here. Glint Sleeve Artisan. Okay, I think I'll try to send in my Seed Sculptor and see what he tries to do. So let's send these both in. I don't mind the Seed Sculptor die, so then I can bring it back with the Renegade Rallier. Takes it? Wow. I'll take that. You can see how effective Pima Outrider can be. Just constantly crashing through. Alright, Welding Sparks to blow me out, sure. Tramples over for 2 as well, it's pretty good. Surprised he didn't use on my flyer. I'm actually happy that he didn't use a Welding Sparks on my flyer and decided to do this blowout turn instead. I think I attack with both again. I'm actually happy that he's blocking here. And then I can maybe double block the 4/4 the next following turn. So I'm hoping he runs out of stuff. He doesn't have any more removal because I do need to kill him in the air, hopefully, so we'll see. I do have some large threats like Arborback Stomper, and maybe another removal spell to take out Narnum Cobra. I also have Ovia in the deck, which can also help me win the game as well. Alright, I'll double block here and hopefully this works. I can also prevent the 1 trample, but I don't think that's worth it. So I'm hoping he's out of resources, and then we can just keep flying over. I can also just sacrifice this and make a 6/6. Is that worth it? Probably not. Maybe. Probably not. I can wait 1 more turn. Now let's just make a 4/4. That's fine. This at least holds the fort, and then if I can take out the Narm Cobra, I can also start attacking. So that's also nice. And opponent's also flooding out here, which is also good for me. And Thopter Rest is great. Yeah, I think we want to Thopter Rest. I think the 2/1. I can also take out the High Spire Artisan, but I think the Death Touch on this thing is a little bit more annoying. Hopefully no fight effect. No fight effect at instant speed, so now we can swing both our 4-powered creatures and take it from there. So that was a really nice top deck. Alright, down to 1, so we should be able to win maybe. If the opponent doesn't play Verter Skirhulk or Rich Scale Tusker, and we got him. Sweet, alright. Yes, we got 7 wins with an okay black-white, green-white go-wide deck. Definitely lacking some power issues. Only if we had like maybe 1 or 2 Dawnfeather Eagles, or even I'd be happy even with an Inspired Charge. This deck would have been a lot better. Overall, there's no clear bombs in this deck either. It's just like, it's okay. The biggest bomb is Ovia, basically, but she's also really fragile at 2 toughness. She doesn't survive most removal spells. So yeah, not bad. 7 and 2. So I'm gonna take a quick break, and after taking the quick break, I'm just going to come back. But in the meantime, you guys can take a look at this deck. Basically, it's just very, very okay-ish. Like, there's no clear bombs. Like, the biggest bomb is probably Ovia. Batak Mimic also isn't super exciting. And then, I guess, Propeller Pioneer was an overperformer. Arborback Stomper, Monstrous Onslaught was also okay. So, yeah, pretty okay-ish deck. Nothing super exciting. But anyways, I'll be back. 1 moment. Alrighty, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let's move on to the next draft. Claim our prize. And yeah, let's do some Crack-a-Packs. 7 Kaladesh Remastered packs. Pretend we're drafting it. Pack 1, pick 1. Easy Untether Express. Oh, Johnny's also a bomb. It does commit us into 2 colors, but it's also in green, which makes it very easy to splash. So what does his abilities do? Review the top 3 cards of your library. Put all non-land permanents revealed this way into your hand and rest of your bottom on the bottom of your library in any order. So basically gives you card advantage in the late game, or whenever you want. A plus loyalty, and then the minus ability is really strong too. You can just exile 2 creatures right away with a Johnny. I mean, this card is definitely a game-winning bomb. Definitely better than Untethered Express. It does come into 2 colors, but if you're lucky to be drafting green, you can easily splash this. So yeah, Johnny's great. Skywheeler Shah is also great, but nowhere near comparable to these 2. The Mythic Uncommon, and then just a busted Mythic. Best common here is probably just a Gear Seeker Serpent. The second best blue common, behind Ether Swooper. Blue isn't very deep in the set, honestly. I think the uncommons, the dual color uncommons are really good, but just the straight up blue commons in general, just mono blue colors commons in general aren't great. I would take Cloud Blazer here over both Aerial Responder and Greenbelt Rampager. I would take Aerial Responder over Greenbelt Rampager, and Daring Demolition between Daring Demolition and Greenbelt Rampager. They're both actually kind of close. But I have a slight bias towards green, so I'd probably take the Greenbelt Rampager. Like 1 mana 3/4 is just excellent. Of course, you need the energy, but 2 energy isn't too difficult to get going in a green deck, since green cares about energy more than it does artifacts. But Cloud Blazer is just insane. Like, there's just so much potential with Cloud Blazer. Lots of ways to flicker it. Lots of ways to bounce it back to your hand. And then if you can just keep recasting it, you can then essentially just outvalue the opponent and just win the game. Aerial Responder is just great in a white aggressive deck overall. Again, don't rate removal too highly in this set. There's just so many creatures that can generate value. Even if you answer them 1 for 1, they can like leave behind a servo token, and they can just do so much. So much that if you draft a mono removal deck, this set's all about threats. That's what it's all about. The creatures are just 2 for 1s in this set. So like just killing a creature is obviously nice, but it's not. But this set is all about doing insane broken stuff. You know, like generating engines that can just go infinite and just destroy your opponents. If you want to be a little bit more grindier. Daring Demolition is a good common, but you know, I'd still take Aerial Responder. I think white is a better primary color than black in the set, and I think white and green are kind of like the 2 base colors you want to decide in this set. White again cares more about Fabricate, green cares more about energy, but I think they're the 2 base colors to decide which direction you want to go in. Black is more of a better support color. Toolcraft Exemplar is quite good. It's pretty nice just having a 1 mana 3/3 as long as you control an artifact. Definitely want to play this in the white aggressive deck. It's not too difficult to have an artifact, and if you control 3 or more, which isn't the easiest to do, it gains First Strike, which is just quite good. So I do like Toolcraft Exemplar. Embrawl Bruiser, if we knew we were in a black aggressive artifacts deck, could be nice. Yeah, fine card, but only playable in really black aggro, and the rest of these commons are all okay. Appetite of the Unnatural, pretty decent in this set since there's lots of artifacts and enchantments. Marionette Master is an easy bomb. Yeah, this card's great. Even if you don't go wide with this and you make this into a 4-powered, if you have ways to just generate servo tokens over and over, you can just sacrifice them. You can just drain the opponent for 4 every single turn, so this card's a bomb. Fretworks Colony is a little bit more of a liability than it is actually good. Obviously great if you can just smash. If you play this along with a Unwinding Serpent, the 2 mana 2/3 that can double the amount of counters onto permanents or players. That card is great. But Fretworks Colony has some downsides. It can't block, so if it gets locked down by a enchantment-based removal spell, you put yourself on a clock since you're losing life every single turn. It's also really slow, so even if you put counters onto this every turn, sometimes the opponent can still double block it. Yeah, it's also in black, which is, I think, a better controlling color than is aggro. So that's a bit of a liability. So even in a black-green deck, which cares about +1/+1 counter synergies, I'm not even sure if I'll play this. But if I knew I was in black-green, maybe I'd play 1 copy, but I wouldn't build around this completely or rely on it to win the game. So yeah, this card is a bit of a controversial card. And at common, there's Gear Seeker Serpent and then Self Assembler here. If you pick up multiple Self Assemblers, again, it can be quite powerful. But I would probably take my first Self Assembler over Gear Seeker Serpent because it keeps my options open. And then again, multiple Self Assemblers can sometimes just win games. Key to the City, fine card. So what does this do? You discard a card without paying mana, tap it. Up to one target creature can't be blocked this turn. Okay, so it's a nice way to help close out the late game if a board stalls to happen. And then whenever it becomes untapped, you may pay 2 generic. If you do, you draw a card. Okay, so it's only really, I think this card is great in the late game if you end up in the board stall. So what you can do is you can make one of your creatures unblockable, discard a card that shouldn't be too difficult, and then you can make up for the card by just paying 2 generic the next on your untap step. So it doesn't actually make you lose card advantage in a sense. You still get to replace the card, but you still need to pay that 2 generic to regain the card. So it's definitely not something you want to activate in the early game. Yeah, I wouldn't mind trying out Key to the City. It could be nice if I was in, again, a deck that wants to be grindy, plays giant creatures, and then we could use this to make a big creature unblockable and just try to win the game with that. It's a fine card. It's also colorless. Not going to be as best in every deck. Especially in an aggro deck. Like, this card does look like an aggro flavored card, but I don't think it is, because on turn 2 you don't want to play 2 mana artifact do nothing. It's also the card discard, just making a creature unblockable and discarding a card early and not having that extra mana to pay for it, or the fact that you need to, if you don't pay 2 generic, and the fact that you have to pay 2 generic just to generate that card advantage, and that could keep your mana locked for the turn, isn't great. But yeah, I'd still probably take it here and try it out. Best comments, I definitely like Propeller Pioneer over Revoke Privileges, because again, this is a set about threats, but you know, these are one of the better white commons too. Ether Meltdown is good in energy. I'm not a big fan of blue-black at all, but if you open up the Planeswalker and you can draft a nasty blue-green energy deck, that could be something to think about. Cultivator's Caravan is really excellent, great rare. Crew 3, again, is not the easiest, but it's okay, and then it just helps you ramp, helps you splash, and a 3-mana 5/5 is nothing to scoff at. Probably the pick here over Weaponcraft Enthusiast, more of a black-white card, since it has a whole Fabricate thing going on. Animation Module is a great rare. It's not easy doing 1/1 counters, but if you can, I mean, it does need to fit in a specific deck that cares about 1/1 counters, like, for example, maybe black-green or white in general, and you want to focus on using your fabrication for gaining counters. But yeah, it's pretty nice if you can play this in a Fabricate deck, because instead of making a servo, you can just, again, give your creature +1/+1 counters, and then you make the servo anyways by paying 1 mana, so it's great. And it also has a great mana sync ability. Just basically, you can not only use this for +1/+1 counters, but also on energy, so you can give yourself energy, and then you can also just keep growing your creatures with the counters. And it's also colorless, so easy first pick. Windkin Raider is also great if you can ramp it out and improvise with it. Just overall, really solid blue uncommon. But anyways, yeah, thank you guys for watching, and we're going to do the next draft after this. So let's fire off some more Kaladesh Remastered.